So, hi everyone again. Welcome to the iSpring webinar series, where every week we talk about e-learning trends, share iSpring tips and tricks, and cover clients' cases. I'm Nadia, a community manager at iSpring, and I will be the moderator for today's session. And today we will cover how to prepare a crystal clear reports for your business with iSpring. And to do that, I invited my colleague from technical support department, Catherine Tate. So, hi, Catherine. Thanks a lot for tuning in. How are you doing?
Hi everyone, thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here and I'm very excited to start.
I'm so happy to hear that. At this point, I'm more than ready to pass the mic over to you, Catherine.
Thank you, Nadia. So let me just share my screen. And hello everyone, my name is Catherine and I'm from the iSpring Tech Support. During this webinar, we will discuss how to get a maximum amount of information and build effective reports in iSpring Learn. I think this will especially help those who have just started working in iSpring Learn. I will start with a little bit of theory and of course we will have a practice part. First, we will learn what types of reports iSpring Learn provides and then create a template of a report according to our case. Second, we will create a template for a report that will be sent to us automatically. Third, we will enable the My Team tool for supervisors and see what information they have access to. Okay, let's get started. So first, we are going to iSpring Learn account. To find reports in the iSpring Learn LMS, you will need to go to the Reports tab in the panel on the left side. Let's click on it. As you can see, there are 4 groups of reports here. The first group is called by learners. In this group of reports, we are selecting a user or a few users to find out how your employees study courses. The second group of reports is called by courses. These reports help to check how a learner advanced through a specific course or any other content, like quizzes, modules, or assignments. You might need this to make sure a student isn't lagging behind and offer some extra help if you notice they're experiencing difficulties. We can also check which answers employees selected in our quiz. The third group is called by trainings. With these reports, you can easily check which trainings have been conducted in the last 3 months and find out how many trainings were led by a specific organizer or how many employees attended an online training. The fourth group is called Others. The first report here is Leaderboard. This report is based on gamification. It displays the rating of employees that shows what scores and how many badges each employee has. And the last one here is the active users. You can use this report to view detailed information on users who logged into the system during the billing period, as well as which devices they trained on, like computer or a smartphone. Access to all of these reports is in the administrator portal. Besides these reports, there is one more separate report that can be accessed directly from the user portal. It's called My Team. Let me show it to you. So first, we are going to switch to the user portal here. Now, when we are in the user report, let's go to My Team. Here, the supervisor can track learner progress and view statistics on individual and department learning progress. The dashboard shows supervisors how many employees have completed a training program and how many haven't started yet. The supervisor will be informed in time to remedy this. Also, supervisors can send requests for employees' trainings. So, we've learned types of reports. Now, let's talk about statistics. I will go back to the administrator portal and run the learner progress report. So let's go to reports and select learner progress. On the top, we can see a summary of the entire report. Trained, level of students training. To calculate this value, you need to divide the number of completed enrollments by the total number of enrollments. And then we can see that all courses that we have in iSpring Learn are divided by their status. For example, passed, the number of courses that users passed. Failed, the number of courses that users didn't manage to pass. In progress, the number of courses that users started to take but didn't view it till the end. Not started, these courses were not started, and overdue, the number of courses whose due dates have already expired. So this is just the first that I showed, but iSpring Learn provides you with more than 20 different reports. It will take time to go over each of them. That's why if you have any questions, feel free to submit them in the chat, and I will be happy to answer them in the Q&A session. We also have help docs for each type of report. My colleagues will share a link in the chat. So, we learned what all these numbers in the reports mean. Now, I would like to also talk about statuses for different types of content. Let's select one of the users here and go to the learner's results. This is an easy and convenient way to find out how a selected employee studies the assigned courses. Pay attention to the status column. Here you can see how this user is progressing on each course. These statuses are different and they can be confusing, so let's learn them in more detail. For graded courses, you can view the following statuses. Completed, the completion condition is reached. In progress, the user started or passed at least one module, but the completion condition was not reached. Not started, the user did not pass any modules. Overdue, the course was not passed till the due date. For assignments, you can view the following status. Not started, the user did not make any attempts to complete the assignment. Pending review, the user sent the assignment to check. Declined, the administrator did not accept the assignment. Accepted, administrator accepted the assignment. Also, for trainings and Zoom meetings, you can view also the following status. Not invited, the user was not invited to the event. Missed, the user did not attend the event. And attended, the user attended the event. All right, let's switch to practice. We will upload reports on two common situations. In the course of our work, we will learn how to switch between reports, use filters, and save templates. So we will start with the case number 1. We need to create a report for a head of department. We need to find out what percentage of employees in the department passed required courses in the past months. Some employees can be already shown as inactive users in iSpring Learn because they passed courses last month and didn't log in. That is why we need to include the inactive users filter in the report. Users who didn't start taking courses must be on the top of the list in the report. And we need to send such report to head of the department once a month. And this report should include name, job title, and a number of courses with not started status. So let's switch to the iSpring Learn. The first task that is to find out what percentage of employees in the department passed the required courses in the past months. So first, we need to go to the Reports tab. And then, in the list of reports, we need to select the one that called Department Progress. Today, we will look at the Technical Support Department. So, in the Department filter, we need to select Technical Support. Let's add filter, department, and check tech support. Okay, now we need to take a look only at the courses that are mandatory, not the ones that users added to themselves from the catalog, but those that the administrator assigned to them. So how to set it up? In the enrollment type, we select Enrolled by Admin. In the filter start date, let's select last 30 days. And let's check update. Here we get training for the technical support department and now it's 10%. The next task for us is when some users were blocked. So how do I run a report on them? First, we select our department and go to the learner progress. Now I can see the list of users on my screen. What we need to do now? Let's add some filters. We select the user status. And here we need to select active and inactive users so that all users with all status are displayed on our screen. Let's click Add. Now we need to select users who have failed courses. First, we need to add a column that will have failed. Let's click here and scroll it down and find failed. Let's check this box. After we have enabled this column, we can click directly on this column name and sort the information. Now we display values from higher to lower, or you can do it vice versa. Users who have failed courses should go to the top of the list. Okay, let's move on to the next task. Our next task is to send this report to the department administrator on a monthly basis. At the same time, the administrator only wants to see the first name, job title, and number of overdue courses. Before setting up sending, we need to configure the columns. So let's click here and we need to include first name, job title, and overdue. We can disable the rest. Okay. Now we can see all these columns on our screen. We have set up the report and now it's time to set up sending the report. How to do this? First, we scroll to the top of our page and there is a clock icon in the upper right corner. Let's click on it. Now we need to schedule the report. First, we can name our report. Let's do it technical support report. Like this. And in email, enter the recipient's email address. We will specify our supervisor and now we need to configure the frequency and when exactly they will receive it. We need it monthly, so let's choose monthly here. In the next line, we specify each month, select a date, and specify the time. Let's do it like 12 p.m. Okay, after we have scheduled a report, let's click Schedule. And this report will be located in the report sections. So if we will go back to reports, we will see our scheduled report at the top of all reports that we have. If the report is suddenly lost, we can click on the three dots and select Send by email. Just enter your email and enter the subject. So first will be the subject, copy of the report, and let's enter the email. It will be our supervisor. Let's send the file. If you need to edit a report, click on the clock again and you can change the schedule. Or if it's no longer relevant to you, you can delete this report by clicking here. So we've sorted out the first case. We set up the report that we need. And now we can move on onto the next one. So now next case is the certification report. Employees didn't pass the quiz till the due date and they do not have access to the course with the quiz anymore. You need to find out what average score that all employees in the department have, find those employees who didn't start taking the quiz, and then extend the due date for 5 days for them so that they can access this course again. A few employees didn't manage to pass the quiz and they told that have answered all the questions correctly. You need to check what answers these employees left in the quiz. To improve user experience in taking the course, you need to check which questions were most difficult to answer for your employees. Okay, let's take a look at the first task. You need to find out what average score that all employees in the department have. Where we will start. Let's first open our reports. And here we need to report quizzes, surveys, and simulations. From module, let's select our quiz. You can search it by looking it in the project folders, or you can just type its name. Our quiz will be what it is all about. Let's check this quiz and click Add. Now we need to add filter department. Let's click Filter, Department, and select Tech Support. After that, we need customize columns, and here in the list, we need to make sure that the option Average awarded score is selected. Now we can see our column here. The next task in this case is to find a user who has not even started our course. Let's choose a quiz and click Learner Progress. Let's see who has not started this quiz. And according to this report, there are 3 people. Now, we need to extend the due date for this course. To extend the due date, we go to the Learning Content tab. And let's find our course. Uh, to extend the due date, let's go to Enrollments tab. And first, we need to find out who has not started this course. So we put our mouse over the status column, and by clicking on it, we can configure filtering. Select Not Started and click Apply. To change the due date, first select Users. We can change due date for each user individually or for all users at once. Let's select all users who have not started the course. I select 3 people and click Edit Enrollment. Here, I want to extend the due date and let's add 5 days. So I will click here and let's add 5 days, and you can change the time also if you need it. Let's click OK and save. Great, we changed the due date for our users. Now let's move on to the next task. A few employees didn't manage to pass the quiz, and they told that have answered all the questions correctly. You need to check what answer these employees left in the quiz. For it, we are going to the reports again. So let's go to reports. And this time we select a report called quizzes. Let's find out our quiz. You can use the search box or you can just scroll down the list of quizzes. We'll use the search box. Select the quiz and we need the technical support department. Okay, let's click Run Report. Here, we can see that we have some users who failed the quiz, and we can click on the results overview here and go to the attempt details. Here we can see which answers are correct in the quiz and what answer the user gave. In other words, here we can view all the details and find out whether the user was telling the truth or not. We can also run report on the quiz attempts, and you can do it here. This report you can only run for each user individually. It also shows how many attempts the user has made. And the last task, to improve users' experience in taking the course, you need to check which questions were most difficult to answer for your employees. To do this, let's go to Reports and select Quizzes Service Simulations. Let's click here on module name and find our quiz again. Okay. Now, we select this quiz from the list and click Results Overview. Once we have selected this option, a report opens where we can view the results for each question or for a question group. To find out which question causes the most difficulty, we look at the incorrect answers column. We can click here and sort out our list. By analyzing this, we can either change this question or add additional information that will help with the answer. And now, let's move on to our next case, a report for the supervisor. More than 85% of employees should be trained at the end of the quarter according to the supervisor KPI. You need to take into account only required courses, not from the catalog. The supervisor tracks the learning progress of the departments once every 2 weeks. If the collective progress on trainings and courses is less than 85%, you will need to find the employees who have any issues with courses and help them to pass the course successfully. Also, you will need to send a message to an employee who has an overdue enrollment to find out how you can help them to pass the course. And then you need to ask a training department to enroll an additional course to this employee if it's needed. So let's go back to iSpring Learn. We've learned how to upload reports. Now we need to figure out who has access to the reports. It is clear that the account owner has access to everything. The department administrator will only see their own departments. You can also create a custom role. For example, you need a person to have access only to learner progress. But what if the supervisor is not directly involved in creating training and there is no point in granting wide access? In this case, My Team tool will help so that the supervisor can simply log in to his account, go to the My Team tab and run reports from there. It is convenient because the supervisor has access only to information on how users go through the material. They will also be able to apply for trainings so that their employees can take specific courses or attend a specific event. And let's turn it on together. I will go back to the dashboard. And in order to grant access to the My Team tab, you need to select the supervisor. Let's go to Users tab. And here, let's select a department. It will be technical support. Now, click on the department and click on three dots on the right. Let's select Edit Department. And here we can select or specify our supervisors manually. For now we have it as iSpring support. You can leave it like this or we can change it. But I will need the support, so let's leave it like this. When you selected your supervisor, let's click Save. Uh, how to see the My Team tab? We need to switch back to the user portal here and find My Team feature here. Now, this tab will appear for the user selected here. Here, a supervisor can view users and see how they are progressing on the assignments. Also, they can request a course for them and send a direct messages to the users. So you can see the list of users by groups. So here you can see departments, or you can see a list of all the users that you have in your account. Now, if you want to send a message, just click here and contact employee or contact manager. And if you want to request a course for them, you can click here, request a course or a training, and then you will just need to select your courses here. Okay, and this is how My Team tab will work. There is no doubt that the blended learning approach is somewhat challenging because it requires some time management skills, but it can still take your training to the next level. The same goal can be achieved with a 360 review, for example. This is a method and a tool that provides each employee the opportunity to receive performance feedback from their supervisor or manager, reporting staff members, co-workers, or others. So 360-degree appraisal tools are also responded by each individual in a self-assessment. The feedback provides insight into the desired skills and behaviors in the organization in order to achieve the company's mission. And all evaluations are anonymous, so employees will not know who evaluated them. The good news is that iSpring Learn now has this feedback assessment module. And if you are as excited about it as I am, feel free to check out a webinar recording to find out more. I will share the link in the chat. Okay, guys, we have done a lot of work today. We studied the types of reports, what are the status of materials. We learned how to solve specific tasks using the reports. Also, we made the work of the head of the department effective using the My Team tab. And now, if you have any questions, please submit them in the chat and I will be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, Catherine, for this wonderful presentation. So we have a question from Dan. If you select a user in a supervisor, can they only see their department or can they see departments outside their level in the company tree?
Uh, they will be able to see the departments that they assigned to. So if the supervisor is assigned to several departments, they will see them. But it's only for the level of the access that the administrator give them. So if the supervisor for this department, they can see it in the My Team tab.
Thank you so much, Catherine. We have a question from just now. If a person earns certificates from a department and are moved to another one, will they retain the certificate?
Yes, so each user can view their certificates in the user portal and they can download them. Certificates doesn't change if you change the department for user.
Thank you so much, Catherine, for covering this question too. And Sharon is asking also, is there a link to a reporting tutorial?
Yes, sure. We have a help documentation about the iSpring Learn where you can view the detailed instructions on how to run each report that we have in iSpring Learn LMS.
And also we have other question from Jasnil. Can I make certificates expire when a person leaves? AI if comes leaves a department for medical leave for 3 months. Can I automatically revoke a certificate? I don't want the certificate to expire if the person is an active employee.
So when you set up the certification for users, you can select if the certificate will have the due date or not. So if you want this certificate to be expired after the amount of time, you can just check the due date and then this certificate will be expired. But if you don't want it, you can just select no due dates. And in this case, the certificate will be with the user and it will be valid.
Thank you so much for covering this question too. I hope that helps. We don't have any questions, so it's time to wrap up our session. Thank you so much, Catherine, for covering today this very helpful information. And thank you, everyone, for coming and spending that valuable half an hour with us. And I hope you have enjoyed today's session. Thank you so much. Thank you, Catherine, again. And goodbye to everyone.